Radar invisible, no sound in the sky, yet in the blink of an eye, the enemy's entire defense system is gone. Today we are talking about the undisputed king of the skies, the F-22 Raptor. America's fifth generation stealth fighter is often called the deadliest combat aircraft ever built. Today we are going to find out how during Operation Inherent Resolve against ISIS in Syria and Iraq, the F-22 Raptor became a name that stuck fear into the enemy without fighting a single dogfight. It was 2014. ISIS had seized large parts of Iraq and Syria. To defeat them, the United States and its allies launched a massive military campaign named Operation Inherent Resolve. But ISIS wasn't the only challenge. Syrian airspace was incredibly complex. On one side were Russia's advanced Sukhoi fighter jets and S-400 missile systems. On the other was the Syrian government-owned air defense network. In such dangerous and crowded airspace, coalition bombers needed something that was both invisible and flawless. That's when the F-22 Raptor entered the mission. The F-22 Raptor was originally designed for air-to-air combat, but in this operation, its role was completely different and surprisingly effective. The US Air Force used it as the battlefield's primary coordinator. Why? Because of its sensor fusion technology, the F-22's powerful radar and sensor could track enemy aircraft troops and missile position from hundreds of miles away. And because the Raptor is stealthy, enemy radar couldn't detect it. The F-22 silently cruised overhead, gathering intelligence across the battlefield. It then shared that data through its data link with fourth-generation fighter jets like the F-15 and F-16, as well as ground forces. During Operation Inherent Resolve, American pilots also had to deal with Syrian and Russian aircraft, but against the F-22's capabilities, they were at a serious disadvantage. That's because the F-22 Raptor appears on radar with a signature about the size of a small bird. Russian pilots often had no idea an F-22 was sitting right behind them. At the same time, American pilots could monitor every move made by Russian Su-35 and other aircraft while remaining invisible on Russian radar screens. There were multiple occasions when Syrian or Russian aircraft approached US ground forces. The F-22 would suddenly appear in front of them and position itself in a way that forced enemy pilots to abandon their mission and turn back. Without firing a single shot, the F-22 Raptor defeated its opponents physically, psychologically. The Raptor didn't just provide air cover. During this operation, it also proved its air-to-ground strike capability. It delivered 1,000-pound GPS-guided bombs with pinpoint accuracy against heavily protected terrorist bases, command centers, and moving targets. Enemy air defense systems never had the chance to look onto it. According to US Air Force Central Command reports, after flying hundreds of combat hours, the Raptor provided complete protection for coalition aircraft throughout the mission. Since entering service in 2005, the F-22 Raptor has never been defeated in an air-to-air combat engagement. Operation Inherent Resolve showed the world that winning a war doesn't always require pulling the trigger. Superior technology still and the right leadership can control the entire battlefield. And that's exactly why the F-22 Raptor is considered one of the most feared fighter jets on Earth. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.